She was an actress with big potential. Then Brittany Murphy died young. Well, now a new HBO Max documentary is looking into the star's troubled final years.
Brittany, please come back.
She's a Scorpio. What else do you need to know?
I'm a double Scorpio.
Double Scorpio.
She evidently collapsed in the bathroom.
Ashton Kutcher just flipped the script on Diddy. And word is, he's about to hand over some serious receipts about Diddy's alleged connection to Brittany Murphy's tragic passing. Ever since whispers started about the feds possibly reopening Brittany's case, things have been spiraling for Diddy. And now, it looks like one of his own inner circle is getting ready to turn him in. Yeah, this is real. And if you thought things couldn't get any messier, buckle up, because this ride is getting wild.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey.
Simon said that he was the largest collector of Vermeer, dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
Once they got married, they were holed up in that house 24/7.
Nobody got close to her.
Last one, guys.
Diddy's name has been splashed across headlines nonstop ever since he got arrested last September. And let's just say, the details coming out, Dark doesn't even begin to cover it. He's facing a mountain of serious allegations. We're talking trafficking, racketeering, moving people around for prostitution, and forced labor under crazy conditions. And now that his trial officially kicked off this month, it's all hitting the fan. New alleged victims keep stepping forward, and people are tearing apart Diddy's past, digging deep into every move he made and every person he rolled with. And guess whose name keeps popping up? Yup, Ashton Kutcher. Now you might be thinking, Ashton with Diddy? But don't get it twisted. They've been tight for years, even though Ashton's been acting a little distant since Diddy's arrest. Sources like OK magazine say their bromance goes way back to the early 2000s. Apparently, they clicked right off the bat and were spotted at all the same Hollywood hotspots. But now, Ashton might be ready to expose everything he knows. This ain't just another Hollywood scandal. It's a full-blown unraveling, and Ashton could be the one holding the thread that pulls it all apart. Ashton Kutcher even spilled some tea about his early days with Diddy during a 2019 episode of Hot Ones. He straight up called their relationship bizarre. It all kicked off thanks to Ashton's prank show Punk'd. Diddy apparently told him, "Yo, you can't punk me." And Ashton clapped back with, "I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table." That bold moment sparked a wild friendship. And from there, they started hanging out a lot, even watching football together like bros. But now that Diddy's in deep legal trouble, folks are seriously raising their eyebrows at everyone who was close to him, especially Ashton. The fact that these two have both been linked for years to Brittany Murphy's sudden and bizarre death has people connecting dots like never before. Let's rewind to 2009, when Brittany's tragic passing shocked all of Hollywood. She was just 32, full of talent, and gone way too soon. And even now, more than a decade later, there are still way too many unanswered questions about what really went down. Reports say Brittany collapsed in the bathroom of the house she shared with her husband, Simon Monjack, and her mother, Sharon Murphy. Things spiraled fast. Sharon was the one who dialed 911, and Brittany was rushed to Cedars-Sinai in LA. But heartbreak hit hard. She didn't make it.
Fire Department 97 was the address of the emergency.
1895 Rising Glen Road.
What's the phone number you're calling from? Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out. They're doing mouth to mouth. Please get here quick,
okay,
please.
Okay. All right, we're going to. How old is your daughter?
She's 30. Please hurry.
She's 30?
The official word was that Brittany died from pneumonia. But let's be real, that never sat right with a whole lot of people. It just didn't add up. Friends later came forward saying Brittany had confided in them. She felt like someone was watching her. Even more disturbing, she believed she was being slowly poisoned. And if that wasn't bone-chilling enough, there's more. There are some seriously creepy connections between Brittany Murphy's death and the 2018 death of Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of 3 of his kids. Just like Brittany, Kim reportedly told people she was scared for her life in the weeks before she passed. And here's the kicker. The LA County coroner listed her cause of death as lobar pneumonia. Now pause, because that's the exact same thing listed on Brittany's autopsy. Are we supposed to just blindly accept that two young, healthy women died the same rare way, both while saying they felt in danger? People aren't buying it. The whole thing just feels way too suspicious. And get this, Kim Porter was allegedly working on a tell-all book before she died. Word on the street is she was ready to spill some serious dirt on Diddy, maybe even cooperating with the feds. Then all of a sudden she dies. That timing has everyone looking sideways. As for Brittany, her husband, Simon Monjack, didn't even want an autopsy done. That raised major red flags. Legally, he couldn't block it, so the coroner went ahead and ruled her death as accidental, pointing to pneumonia, anemia, and multiple drug intoxication as contributing factors. But even that didn't sit right, and for good reason. Simon died just 5 months later, in the same house, from the same exact causes, pneumonia and anemia. Like, what are the odds of that happening twice in one home? It's too weird. And here's where things get even sketchier. According to ABC News, the coroner's office initially refused to say what substances were found in Brittany's system. That kind of secrecy only made people more suspicious. What were they trying to hide? Simon tried to calm things down in an interview with People, claiming Brittany was just taking herbal remedies, period meds, and a little cough syrup. Nothing serious, nothing dangerous. But fans weren't convinced. It all sounded way too neat and tidy, like someone was covering something up. To make it messier, Brittany's mom Sharon backed Simon's story completely. She said Brittany didn't do drugs, didn't even drink alcohol. But with all the strange twists, not everyone believes that version of events, and the questions just keep piling up. At first, Brittany's mom, Sharon, tossed out the idea that maybe her daughter had an undiagnosed heart condition. But what really sent alarm bells ringing was Brittany's own words in the weeks before her death. She was reportedly telling friends she felt like she was being poisoned. Yes, poisoned, and it gets even darker from here. Brittany wasn't just worried. She was full-on paranoid. She told people she was scared, like someone was out to get her. That fear pushed her to take serious steps. She had fingerprint recognition locks installed and even set up CCTV cameras all over her home. You don't go that far unless you really believe you're in danger. Then came the so-called mold theory. After Brittany passed, rumors started swirling about toxic mold inside her Hollywood Hills house. Suddenly, Simon and Sharon were both pushing the idea that maybe mold was to blame for everything. But here's where it gets shady. When investigators offered to do mold testing to confirm it, they shut it down. If they truly believed mold killed Brittany, why stop the inspection? It didn't make any sense, and experts weren't buying it either. Pathologist Dr. Richard Shepard flat out dismissed the mold idea, saying there was zero evidence of fungi in Brittany's lungs or blood. So yeah, that theory got tossed out quick. But Brittany's fear of being poisoned, that still lingers, and it paints a seriously scary picture. In her final months, she reportedly became super cautious, even avoiding food and drinks from certain places because she was convinced someone was trying to take her out. She told close friends that she felt watched, like powerful people in Hollywood were keeping tabs on her, and not for good reasons. People with bad intentions. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Her husband, Simon. The guy was right in the middle of it all. And there's just something about him that doesn't sit right with anyone who's followed this story. Simon Monjack was older, had a sketchy reputation, and let's be real, he gave off all the wrong vibes from the jump. He met Brittany when she was just 17, and people were already raising eyebrows. His name was tied to fraud, manipulation, and shady behavior way before he got with her. A bunch of Brittany's friends believed he was using her, and looking back now, it's hard not to think they were right.
Now the HBO documentary, What Happened, Brittany Murphy, alleges Monjack was a con artist and contributed to her death. Brittany's friend, actress Kathy Najimy, appears in the documentary.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey. we all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
And there's this shocking claim.
Simon said that he dated Elle McPherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
Their relationship wasn't just strange. It was isolating, controlling, and honestly, might have been dangerous. And we can't ignore the most haunting detail of all. Simon died just 5 months after Brittany, in the same house, from the same causes, pneumonia and anemia. Like seriously, what are the odds of that? There's just too much that doesn't add up. The secrecy, the paranoia, the identical deaths. Whatever was going on behind those closed doors wasn't some sad accident. It feels like something way more twisted was happening. Think about it. 2 adults, both supposedly healthy, living in the same house, both dying from the same medical condition within months of each other. Come on now. That's not just tragic. That's straight up suspicious. And when that, maybe it was mold excuse, got thrown out the window, things started to look really dark. Fast forward a few years, and Brittany's dad, Angelo Bertolotti, wasn't buying any of it. He refused to accept the official story and decided to take matters into his own hands. So what did he do? He hired a private lab to retest Brittany's samples. And y'all, what they found was chilling. We're talking sky-high levels of heavy metals in Brittany's hair. Not the kind you get from the environment, but the kind you'd find in rat poison or insecticides. That's not just odd, that's terrifying. And if this is true, then everything about Brittany's final days points to something a lot more sinister than anyone wanted to admit. And it looks like the truth was buried deep. Brittany's dad, Angelo Bertolotti, didn't hold back. He straight up believed his daughter was murdered. But here's the real question. Why didn't the original autopsy catch any of the stuff the private lab found? Well, according to experts, the coroner's office never tested for poisoning. And why? Because no one officially suggested it at the time. That's wild when you remember Brittany was literally telling people she thought she was being poisoned. She was terrified and begging to be taken seriously. And still, no one did anything. It's heartbreaking. Now stack that on top of Sharon and Simon, her mom and husband, reportedly blocking every investigation attempt. That's not just suspicious, it's screaming cover-up. Sharon lived with Brittany, claimed they were super close, but after her daughter passed, her behavior had everyone whispering behind the scenes. Rumors started flying that after Brittany's death, Sharon and Simon got way too close, like in a way that made a lot of folks super uncomfortable. Then out of nowhere, Simon drops dead too. And Sharon, she sold the house and completely abandoned the whole mold theory like it never happened. No push for deeper answers, no fight for justice, just silence. If your daughter died in a way that made no sense at all, wouldn't you be demanding the truth loudly? Why wasn't she doing that? This is where the Hollywood drama hits another level. Some fans believe Sharon and Simon were hiding something huge, but others think Brittany had even bigger enemies. Rumors say Brittany was blacklisted in Hollywood because she refused to go along with the industry's dark side, the same side allegedly tied to Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. Yup, those parties. So how was Brittany linked to all that mess? Let's take it back to 2002, when she had that fast, fiery romance with Ashton Kutcher after they filmed Just Married. That fling had people talking, and not just about love. Whispers started that Brittany might have seen or heard things from Ashton's world. And if that's true, she could have been sitting on secrets some powerful folks did not want out. Brittany and Ashton were even rumored to be engaged at one point. Folks spotted them rocking matching rings. But plot twist, the fairy tale ended quick. They split after just 5 months. And why? Well, word is Ashton cheated on Brittany with none other than Demi Moore, who, by the way, was also reportedly a guest at Diddy's wild parties. Now here's where the timeline gets shady. Ashton went public with Demi right after breaking things off with Brittany. No breathing room, no time to cool off. Just boom, new couple alert. Doesn't that seem a little too convenient? But hang on, it gets even darker. The latest chatter says Brittany might have ended up in serious danger because of what she allegedly found out about those infamous Hollywood parties. Just like Kim Porter, there's talk that Brittany stumbled on something major, something involving both Diddy and Ashton. Word is, she got hold of some explosive proof. and anonymous sources claim that info has already made its way to the feds. So now the real question is, did Brittany uncover something so dangerous, so career-ending, that she had to be silenced? Could this have all been about keeping secrets buried? Tell me what you think in the comments. Was Brittany caught up in something way bigger than anyone realized? Or is it all just Hollywood chaos gone too far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see it. Hit that bell so you don't miss any updates, and make sure to check out our other videos to stay locked in with all the latest tips. See you on the next one.